This video is about how to voice chords, meaning what members of a chord should you use. Well, the most important thing is to get the bass right. You'll get a figured bass to show you what that is. You're usually not going to have an option in that when you're writing this. They'll give it to you most of the time. So let's say I'm going to just write a C chord, all right? So what I want to do is I want to start with C in the bass because it's going to be a root position chord. And then it doesn't matter where I put the other voices. I can mix them up however I want. But the thing is, I have 4 voices, and in the triad, I only have 3 notes. So what do I do about the doubling? Well, your first choice would be, number 1, double the root. So here I'm going to go C. Let's do an E. Let's do a G, and let's do a C. So I have 2 Cs. I have an E and a G. Beautiful. That's great. So that's one option for a triad. A second option that you can use is you can double the 5th. It's fine to do that. Sometimes you'll want to do that if you need to have smoother voice leading, or maybe you have a parallel 5th or an octave, and so you want to double the 5th to kind of get rid of that. That's fine too. So we're still going to start with a C, and let's go ahead and go G. Let's do an E, and let's do a G right there. Okay, so very kind of a close thing right there. You're going to learn, we'll do another video on how to deal with second inversion chords. In second inversion chords, you always want to double the 5th, okay? So the 5th will be the bass, and you want to double the bass on a second inversion chord, okay? But that'll be for another video. The other thing that you could do, number 3, the third option, is you can omit the 5th. Now, don't omit the 5th if you're doing a diminished chord, because that 5th tells you what kind of a chord it's going to be. The root, you need that because it names the chord. The third, you need to make it major or minor. The 5th really isn't as important, again, unless it's diminished. So if I need to do that, I can go C. Let's just do another C. Let's do our E to make sure it's major, and let's do a C, and that would be another way to voice it. So all 3 of these are legal. You can do that. The only thing that is illegal is never, and I can't say this, that was a horrible N, I'm so sorry about that. Never, ever, 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 ever double the 3rd. That would be illegal. You would get points marked off if you do that. So don't do that. You have to have the root. You have to have the 3rd. You can double the root. You can double the 5th. You can take the 5th out. Just don't double the 3rd. Now, what about 7th chords? Okay, let's just make a C dominant 7 chord to do that. Well, if you think about it, the root is really important. The 3rd is really important. The 7th, you have to have that. It's not a 7th chord if you don't have a 7th, so you got to have the 7th in there. Now, a 7th chord has 4 notes. You have 4 voices, so that's pretty easy, right? C, let's go, let's put our B flat here. And then I just need an E and a G. Let's go here. Let's do a nice open spacing. Okay? C, E, G, and our B flat. So there you go. That's perfect. So that would be our number 1, just put all 4 voices. Alternatively, if you're having trouble with that, you can double the root and take out the 5th. So here it would be the G. So maybe C, maybe another C right here. Maybe you have your E and your G, however you want to do it. Actually, sorry. Let's go to G there, and let's put a B flat there. C, C, E. Take out the G, and you have a B flat. So on this one, just put in, your number 1 choice is just use all 4. Your number 2 would be to double the root and omit the 5th. Okay? And again, never, never, never double the 3rd. So while you're voicing chords, we have our best options, but don't worry about that. Any of these options will work, and you won't get points taken off, and it'll all go really well. Just never, ever, ever double the 3rd, and watch your spacing and keep everything in range. So there's chord voicing.